Ladies and gentlemen, we are now through two divisions, and division number 3 of the day is starting up now as we head on up north to the coldest division in all of the NFL. That is the NFC North. Oh man, we got some fun ones today, man. We are going to roll on in. Start things off with Minnesota. Then we got ourselves another cold front coming, heading over to Wisconsin to talk about them Packers. Then we're going on to the Windy City and ending in Detroit, the Motor City. Oh, man, we got a good one today, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys have tuned in the last two shows already, you guys are amazing. First things first, got to tell you that. But also probably a little crazy like myself. But hey, that's all right. We like to be crazy here at IE Sports Radio, right? But here we go, y'all. I'm excited. Taryn jumping in. Yeah, the NFC Central. I mean, the NFC North. Yeah, all right. So this is going to be some goods, man. We got ourselves some great insiders today. Our very own Glenn Ritter. We got, of course, Mr. Dan Diehard jumping on in here, Vicolic, and Mr. Adam Karnick talking about his Bears and ending off the Skits, our brand new Detroit insider. So we have got so much to get to today, man. Let's talk a little bit about this division because it has been a wow. I mean, last year the Lions just doing amazing things, 15-2. They were a game away, man. I know I was cheering for them. Everybody was. I mean, unless you hate Detroit somehow, or your name is Dan, Glenn, or Adam, you probably weren't cheering for the Lions. But I think everybody else was. That's understood for them, right? But I mean, my goodness, what a division last year. The Lions doing amazing things. The Vikings not far behind. Have they figured it out in Minnesota finally? And the Packers, even though the Packers somehow, some way, always, I don't know, the Packers, it's even in their worst years, they somehow, some way look competitive. It's the weirdest thing. Green Bay doesn't like losing. So, I mean, that's just their culture over there. So, Dan will tell us way more about that in just a bit, but the coldest division in the NFL is here. Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. Oh my! Let's get to it, y'all. It is 3 and out. 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC North Day. Well, NFC North Show. Right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are rolling on into the NFC North. Oh, it's nice and cold, crisp in the air, right? Cold and crispy, and we got ourselves 4 great teams to talk about. Maybe one not so great. Just kidding, Adam, sorry. But this is going to be a good one today, man. Another good one. So if you're tuning in for the first show of today, you missed the NFC South and the NFC East. But you can always check those out on YouTube. Give us a follow, like everywhere, like, subscribe, share. IE Sports Radio, man. TikTok is where we're living right now. And of course, here on YouTube, check us out on X as well, IE Sports Radio. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump on into our first team, man. Take ourselves a quick break. When we jump on back into this, we got ourselves some Vikings talk starting in Minnesota with our very own Glenn Ritter. Once again, you're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC North Show right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back talking Vikings after this.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
What's up, IE Sports Radio family? It's Glenn Ritter here, the Minnesota Insider here on the 3-and-Out podcast. So you wanted to get a breakdown of the Minnesota Vikings as the Minnesota Sports Insider, talk a little bit about last year's team and the offseason draft, and then the projection for this season. So last year it was just the Cinderella season for the Vikings. They weren't projected to do anything. Sam Darnold was Cinderella, but in the first playoff game, it turned into a pumpkin. That's just kind of the way it goes with Sam Darnold. But he did have a great regular season. Quarterback whisperer Kevin O'Connell was the NFL Coach of the Year, which is great. But going into the offseason, they knew that they had to address the interior of the offensive line, interior defensive line, cornerback solidified that, probably some receiver, and then also bringing JJ McCarthy along, right? He was a top 10 pick last year, and I have no doubt in my mind he's going to really do well this year. He obviously missed last season with the torn meniscus, had surgery on that, so. But he's back this year. Going into free agency, obviously they talked about the things that they needed to address. They need to address the interior of the offensive line, interior defensive line, cornerback, again, wide receiver a little bit, and then just linebackers, I guess, too. We did lose some players there. Anyway, went into free agency, kept checking things off the got rid of Garrett Bradbury, brought in Ryan Kelly to be the starting center. Didn't re-sign Dalton Reisner, brought in Will Fries to be the starting right guard. Drafted Donovan Jackson in the first round to solidify that offensive line. Again, boom, 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 check. Look forward to seeing how all of those guys play. Interior of the defensive line, brought in Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen to play alongside Harrison Phillips. I think it's really going to solidify the interior of the defensive line, really help be able to stuff teams because they couldn't really get a whole lot of pass rush from the interior of the defensive line. It was really the guys on the outside, Andrew Van Ginkel and Jonathan Grenard, that were able to provide that pressure. On the corner aspect, they really needed to bring back Byron Murphy Jr. as a free agent, signed him to a big contract. Also brought in Isaiah Rodgers to start on the other outside. And then brought in Jeff Okudah. Could be a good player. He has had a ton of talent. He was a top 3 pick for a reason. Just has had a tough time staying healthy. So we'll see how he does in that respect. But otherwise, coming out of the draft, in addition to Donovan Jackson, they came away with Ty Felton, the speedy wide receiver out of Maryland, that I think will be able to get some good playing time in the beginning of the year. With Jordan Addison potentially being suspended for a few games, brought in some other guys that have some talent, has some physical traits that I think will be able to translate to the NFL. Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, thank you. Sorry about that. They came away with Gavin Bartholomew as a tight end, Kobe King is a linebacker as well. But they also came out with a backup quarterback from Seattle and Sam Howell. They have a backup running back from Jordan Mason from San Francisco to back up J.J. McCarthy and Aaron Jones, help take that load off of him. So I think going into the season, they've got all the boxes checked to get through the season and to be successful this year. Personally, I think they're going to go probably 11-6. 11-6, 10-7. They do have a tough schedule. Start out the season with Chicago on the road, which is, going into Chicago is never an easy task. But we got Ben Johnson, new head coach there. Who knows how they're going to play in their first game? But overall, they've got some tough games, especially some of the games at home are tough. They're playing the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Commanders all at home, but those are all fantastic teams. They do play the Cowboys on the road, which could be a tough matchup. Anyway, and then obviously in the division, you got the Lions. Who knows how they're going to be after losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn as coordinators. The Bears, they're always off-season. They're always off-season winners, but we'll see how they do. Green Bay, they're 30 years with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and have 2 championships to show for it. So we'll see how they all do. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is Glenn Ritter here with IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hi, this is Dan Vahalik, Wisconsin Insider, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Packers last season had a disappointing loss against the Eagles in the postseason. Defense actually did show a lot of things last year without Jair Alexander, which they'll be faced with this season. They did add Nate Hobbs, however. We'll get to that in a second. But last season on a young team, I thought the team played very well. You saw Josh Jacobs establish himself in the offense. The Packers just showed that kind of some things that they needed to address, not only in the draft, but in free agency, gained experience by being one of the youngest teams in the league last year for the second consecutive season. I thought Jordan Love played really, really well. Some issues, though, that he did have was the wide receivers dropping passes, one of the worst drop rates in the NFL last season. Defense not getting stops when they needed to. Red zone offense, again, needs to improve. It hasn't been like what we saw with Aaron Rodgers. Special teams has been pretty good. But overall, a very good season last year, I thought. I think this offseason, they just needed the rebound, get a couple additions, get some depth, add a couple spots, and that's what they did. So thoughts on the draft, thoughts on the free agency. I thought the Packers did very well. So Nate Hobbs, they went and signed him, versatile corner, coverage guy. He could play outside, inside, safety, nickel, slot. So very, very versatile. I'm really excited for him to come in. They also signed Aaron Banks on the line. The big news with that, though, is it pushes Elton Jenkins to center. Problem with his contract is he doesn't want to get linked to the center designation. He still wants to get tackle money because he can play tackle, guard, center, all of that. I think free agency overall for that was very good for the Packers. I really like Aaron Banks, one of the best guards available. I like Nate Hobbs, especially without Jair Alexander. Carrington Valentine showed that he could definitely step up. Keyshawn Nixon showed he could step up. Only allowed one non-wide receiver to score or to record over 100 receiving yards was Jonnu Smith against the Dolphins, I believe Thanksgiving night. And the defense I thought was actually very good. I think Jeff Hafley has done a great job on defense. And the Packers went into the draft having some needs, pass rush, wide receiver, overall needs. I thought the draft was great. Matthew Golden was the first selection. They drafted another wide receiver. They drafted a couple linemen, big guys as well, couple defensive backs. And I think those guys are going to be great additions. I think Matthew Golden is going to come out and be one of the offensive player of the years this year, offensive rookie of the years, rather, this year. So definitely watch him in that race. I think Jordan Love is going to just dish it up to him. Plus, he could run around. He's very fast. So you could have him do, wide receiver sweeps. You could have him do, screens. You could have him kind of just shoot across the middle and hit him over the middle and let him, get all that yak. So Matthew Golden is a great guy. I think I think they did really well in the draft. I'd probably give their draft a B plus. I thought maybe they could have got an edge or something, or a dominant pass rusher. For this season, outlook, I'd probably say 10 to 11 wins for the Packers. I think competing for the NFC North title this year is going to be realistic. I think getting them to the divisional, to the championship round, almost pushing Super Bowl, I think would be very realistic for the Packers. Getting to the Super Bowl would also be realistic. I don't think you're going to see the Lions dominate like last year with offensive, defensive coordinators needing they're restarting all their coaching. So that's going to be a big blow. The Vikings are running the rookie quarterback out there, J.J. McCarthy, so he's up in the air. And the Bears are the Bears. All this offseason hype never comes to fruition. So I think the Packers take the division this year, get to the Super Bowl, and win it.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
Hello and welcome to 8 Divisions in 8 Days, Chicago Bears edition. I am Adam Karnick. As I'm sure Larry has told you, I am Chicago insider here on IE Sports Radio. Been doing this for a few years now. I love the station. Larry, thank you so very much for the opportunity. Let's talk Bears, shall we? This is an exciting upcoming season. We will hopefully see so much good stuff, so much better than what we saw a season ago. The less we say about the 2024 season, the better. One of the most disappointing and frustrating seasons in recent memory. For the second time this decade, the Bears had a 10-game losing streak. It's hard to remember that at one point last year, the Bears were 4-2, and they were literally one play away from finishing 5-2, from being 5-2. Instead, they lose on a Hail Mary. That triggers a gigantic collapse of a house of cards that results in a 10-game losing streak, a head coach getting fired in season for the first time in franchise history, an offensive coordinator getting fired, and just disaster everywhere with a rookie quarterback and no time for anything like that. So the less we say about last season, the better. That was just out and out frustrating in 2024. But 2025 looks to be so much more promising, looks to be so much better. If for no other reason, the Bears went out and got themselves not just a new head coach, but arguably the best head coaching prospect that could be had. Ben Johnson could have easily had another job, could have had any job last year but he specifically held out because he wanted the Bears job. He winds up getting it this year. There's so much enthusiasm and excitement just because Ben Johnson is here and brings with him a competent staff. And with that, some new players too. Drew Dahlman at center, Joe Thuney at guard, Jonah Jackson at guard. You could have possibly completely revamped and redone and brand new offensive line, with possibly Darnell Wright being the only returning starter from a year ago, from an offensive line that in part surrendered 68 sacks a season ago with Caleb Williams. Now, Caleb has said he's, to blame and at fault for a lot of those, and he's not wrong, but still some massive improvements there on the offensive line. And then you could see a new left tackle as well, as Ozzie Trapillo, one of 3 second-round draft picks, is in play for the starting left tackle spot, along with the incumbent Braxton Jones and last year's 3rd-round pick Kieran Amagaji at left tackle. We'll see what comes out there, but you could have 4 brand new starters on the offensive line, which could have some trouble early, but could pay dividends huge later on in the season. Some other notable draft picks for the Bears this year. You've got Colston Loveland, the sensational tight end out of Michigan. This could be Ben Johnson's new Sam Laporta. He did so much out of the tight end position in Detroit. Now we'll see what he can do with Colston Loveland. He was hurt a lot of the offseason, but he is participating in training camp, so we'll see what Loveland can do in this offense. You've also got Luther Burden III, an intriguing wide receiver there. And we talked about Ozzie Trapillo as well. And then Kyle Monungai, a running back for the Bears out of Rutgers, led the entire Big Ten in rushing out of Rutgers, of all places. This could be an incredibly exciting and fun season for the Bears in 2025. Hopefully, finally, we have a winning record to celebrate and talk about, and then we don't have to worry about the Vikings and the Packers and the Lions anymore, that it can be the Bears ruling the North, finally holding the North and never giving it back. That's what we hope to be seeing this season.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, man? It's Skits, man. I'm excited to join the community and represent my Detroit Lions. I've been a fan my whole life. It's been hard being a fan. As y'all know, we've been doormats for the majority of my lifetime, but we here now. I think we're a presence in the NFC. And last year, I think, obviously a disappointing end, but I think we established ourselves as a NFC contender year after year, and we just have to build on it. We can't let this window close. because it's wide open. That Super Bowl window is wide open. And the NFL changes from year to year, so we just got to keep the foot on the gas. Obviously, last year, regular season was great. Like, it was fun watching us, exciting offense, but we ran into that injury bug. Man, any Lions fan gonna tell you, like, that's what killed our season, losing Aiden Hutchinson, the best defensive end in the league, in my biased opinion. Even if you're not from Detroit, you got to admit he like top 3. But, yeah, losing him, losing Carlton Davis, Derek Brown, like, we just lost everybody. Our defense was practice squad guys. I remember it was a guy out there against the Commanders, number 40. I still don't know who he is. Like, I don't know who he is. He looked lost out there. But, yeah, we was down to the practice squad guys. And I think, although I do think we should have beat the Commanders, couple of mistakes from Goff, probably trying to, like, overcompensate for the lack of talent on defense, like trying to force throws and stuff. And also Jaden Daniels was playing out of his mind. And we blew an opportunity, another opportunity. That's why I say we gotta attack this season like we won't be that good in next year. You know what I'm saying? So I think we obviously have the offense. We lost our defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. I'm more so worried about the offense more than the defense because Shepard has been there. He's been a part of the growth. He know what the culture is in Detroit. Like, he's a Dan Campbell guy. So I'm not worried about the defense. If healthy, I think we got dogs on defense. The offense, I like John Morton. I'm not too familiar with what he likes to do offensively. But he has offensive weapons. So it's all about the adjustment, our adjustment to him and his adjustment to what we like to do. If that can sync, we'll be fine. Now, with that being said, I don't think this regular season will be as impressive as last season due to the things that I've just mentioned, like just that syncing up with a new coordinator on offense and the schedule. The schedule is crazy at Ravens, at Cincy, at Philly, at Rams. Like, our schedule is brutal. So to all the Lions fans that's expecting us to be dominant and just run through the NFC, don't do it. Don't trick yourselves don't get spoiled. Don't be prisoners of that. We, the number 1 seed, like, it's a whole new year. All teams have gotten better, and we got that first place schedule, and it's brutal. So I'm on a ship where it really don't matter what that regular season record is. Just get in the playoffs, and I think we'll still be a scary team in the playoffs at 10-7. You're not going to want to play us because of how we play ball. As far as the free agency, like I said, it was injury, so we didn't really attack free agency like that. We are depending on health. Getting healthy, that's our free agency. We picked up DJ Reed, who was a need because we lost Carlton Davis, but we didn't do nothing but re-sign a couple guys and picked up DJ Reed. So we're depending on the health of Hutch, the health of Amik, even Barnes. We're depending on these guys to be healthy, and that's our free agency. We drafted a couple guys. Tesla, I like him. The offensive lineman from Georgia, I like him. The defensive end, I like what we did in the draft. It's just about the coordinators, the changeover in coordinators and how it's going to come together. I think we're in for an up and down season to start, but we'll see. As far as the NFC North, hate them all. They all can, I hate them. But we do have the best division in football. I think the Bears are much improved. Ben Johnson is so trash for going to them out of all people. Out of all teams, I think that just was like a kick in the face. And I hope they're not as good as I think they will be. Their defense is much improved. That O-line is much improved. They're my sleeper wild card team, unfortunately. I know we can go in Lambeau and win. Lambeau, the Packers don't really beat good teams. They're going to be a good team, but they don't really beat good teams. Minnesota, I'm a Detroit guy. I'm a Michigan guy. I like J.J. McCarthy. I think J.J. McCarthy is a Rookie of the Year candidate. He has the weapons. He has Jefferson. We know Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator, so I know they'll be right there. The division is tough. I'm banking on like Caleb Williams not being as good as people think, but they have weapons too. I think we get 3 playoff teams in the NFC North. Just like free balling it right now. I think we get 3 again in the playoffs. But my Lions will be there. We'll be there. 10-7, 11-5. I know when I tell my group chat these records, they hate when I say 10-7, but I think that's like a good realistic floor for the Lions. If we get in the playoffs, we gonna be a problem still. So, shout out to Detroit. Y'all be hearing from me all season. Go Lions.
And there we have it again, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, man. We have made it through 3 shows. Nearly. So, congratulations to us. But huge, big applause yet again for all those awesome folks that just jumped on in here and let us hear what they had to say. Applause, applause. NFC North, baby. You already know what that means, man. It's time for my final weigh in. These guys went in. I'm super excited for all these teams because the Bears, even though they're horrible, they when you're at the bottom, as I love to say on the show, I think I've heard it from coaches a couple times in the past when we haven't been so good, but then it sparks something in you, right? But it just when there's nowhere to go but up, right? When you're at the bottom, and the Bears, well, I mean, as of right now, I don't know if they're going to be going up at all, but hey, at least it's a goal, right? But really, everybody, man, great stuff, and excited as can be, man, to jump on back to our weigh-in for this one. Let's get it, man. Here we go. All right, NFC North final weigh-in. How do we even attack this? Okay. Let's take a look at a couple of things. I said in the very beginning of the show, man, 15-2 seasons for the Lions. You cannot sneeze at that, as my boy Taryn would say, right? Look, Commanders Lions last year, I mean, that was such a fun game, wasn't it? At the end of the season. I mean, my goodness, divisional round, you were cheering for somebody. You wanted someone to win that thing, right? And they got all the way there. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get it done. And, well, there you have it. But it was a great game. You would wish that was the NFC Championship. You would wish that one of those teams would have gone to the bowl, right? No hate on the Eagles, but I'm just saying. But I will tell you this. This has been a very, very fun division to watch for so many reasons. The Vikings, they face dived, all right? Like 2016, 17-ish, and they sucked. I mean, I'm sorry. That defense was horrible. But then they were good, but then they were bad, but then they were good. They fought with themselves. They were their own basket case, right? And that offense, there were so many different ways that could have gone. But I don't know. We'll get to the Vikings in a few moments. But I guess when we attack this thing, let's just go ahead and start things off by just saying, look, the Bears. Okay, let's just start with the Bears. Okay. Why they have some kind of chance, and I don't even know why I'm saying this, but they did hit the reset button with Ben Johnson, okay? They have a okay team. Okay. Caleb Williams, let's see what he can do. You already know how I feel. A lot of you know I'm an SC fan forever, and I'm not a fan. Whatever. He was cool, I guess. Did some things, but I'm not gonna tell you that he was the greatest quarterback ever at USC. And I'm sorry, yo. I'm just hate me, it's fine, but whatever. But hey, look, the Bears got him. Let's see what he can do in the NFL. You know, got DJ Moore, Odunze, Burden the third. I mean, they got some dudes there. Thunny is there now, Jonah Jackson. This could be a different year for the Bears. Let's not get too excited, but you know, it could be good. However, coaching transitions, they're not always smooth, right? Johnson's never been in the big chair, and McDaniels, well, hard. I don't know. How hard can that step be, right? If you ask McDaniels. I'm sorry. Anyway, but Caleb, he's still unproven in my opinion. He's a great, he look, I don't know. asking to own half the damn team, I think, is what got me. But regardless, look, can he do well? We'll see. Can he make things happen this year? We'll see. Is it a big roll of dice? Possibly. But, Sweat, Johnson, I mean, I don't know. These guys, one injury to those guys, in my opinion, just everything falls off. That's it. They have a pretty big ceiling, judging from where they came from. But the basement is like the deepest basement. The freaking basement's like the Mariana Trench, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Look, the Bears just haven't. I mean, come on. You wait till I talk about the Raiders later on tonight. All right. So anyway, the Lions. This is just a good football team, man. They are so strong. They're built tough. Honestly, guys, this is a Super Bowl contending team. You tell me I'm wrong, that's fine. You could say whatever you'd like to, but guys, don't overthink it. This is a talented, elite, immensely strong, whatever else adjectives you want to throw out there. This team has got it, man. They have the best backfield in the NFL, man. Gibbs, Montgomery, these guys are strong. Amon-Ra still getting it. Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams. Look, they have such a good football team, man. And what I want to say right now is the sky's the limit for these guys. It really is. Outer space, man. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson over there doing his thing, the new defensive coordinator, golly, what's his name? Shepard. Sorry, I just, lots of names going through right now. And then you got Dan Campbell just being crazy, biting kneecaps and whatnot. I mean, look, man, I like him. I like him a lot. I like him. Okay? I don't care. He's a crazy head coach. Sometimes you need a crazy guy leading it all. I mean, I'm just saying, that's just how it goes, all right? So sometimes it's not the best, but sometimes it's good. Look, I don't know. Losing Ben Johnson stings, but John Morton, didn't exactly light it up, the last time he was in this role. But let's just see what happens, man. Look, they have a good football team. They're still contenders. This isn't their last year on the catwalk. Okay, let's just be real. I think they're going to be around for years to come. This is a good football team. So Lions fans, you be strong. All right. The Packers. Look, they were okay. They were 11-6. I mean, just saying it's better than a lot of teams out there. So Packer fans shouldn't be down on themselves for this. But overall, there's a lot of good here, right? There's a lot of good. You get wide receiver Matthew Golden. I mean, got picked in Green Bay. I mean, it's beautiful for the draft. Beautiful moment. This dude's going to really be a great target for Love. Let's see what Love can do. I know he's got something to prove to everybody. He's following Favre and Rodgers. When is that streak going to break, man? You know what I mean? Like, it happens. They lucked out. They got two really good quarterbacks. I'm not saying anything bad about Love, but let Love be Love, man. The same way that the damn Broncos should let Tebow be Tebow years ago. I'm just saying, man, if you're winning games, I don't give a damn how you're winning games, right? So it's just, you're winning games. All right. I mean, that's all there is to it. And while football is still football, before we start throwing on tinfoil hats and sarcastable. I'm sorry, but while it's still football, semi-hard hitting, nowhere where it was in the past, but let this man be himself, man. Let them do their thing, all right? But look, I like what they got going on. All right, Golden's there. Defensively, offensively, I think they're solid. Offensively, the Packers, they're okay, they got that other guy there, Tucker Kraft. I kind of like him at tight end, man. They got an okay offensive line. I know you heard Dan talk about Banks, and right now he's questionable, I believe, right now. But still, Josh Jacobs is a monster. And then on the other side, man, Van Ness, Clark, Wyatt, Gary, Walker, Cooper. I mean, those are off the top of my head right there. Those guys can play, man. Xavier McKinney. These guys can play football. Okay, this is a pretty strong unit. These guys were built pretty tough. So let's see if the Packers can actually have a good start this year, and continue that good start. So they got some dudes. All right, they got a pretty solid defense. But what if Love is just average again? What if he shows flashes, but he's just not the Rodgers Favre thing that we've all been seeing in Green Bay? Golden's a rookie. If he doesn't pop, if he doesn't explode, I mean, what is he average now? And everyone's going to say, oh, well, whatever. He had his chance to be great. Fans. But I'm not saying that's all us Packer fans, but I'm just saying that's some people, right, will say stuff like that. The diehards, like Dan, his name Diehard, but overall, I feel that, Golden is great. I think he's a great player and he'll do well over there. But again, we haven't seen anything yet in the NFL. Now there's no Jair Alexander. He's going to the Raiders. Poor guy. So I don't know. Their flood is higher than people think. I think so. I said flood. I'm sorry. Their floor is higher than people think, but their ceiling really does depend on Love taking the leap. I really do feel that that's very, very accurate to say. So there you go. And then last but not least, man, look, the Vikings, if McCarthy delivers, don't sleep on the Vikings. Their roster is loaded, man. They had a beefed up O-line. They look good, man. Allen and Hargrave. I mean, Flores there doing his thing. Look, they got some. You heard skits right now, man. They got dudes. Justin Jefferson's there doing his thing. I mean, but they're only going to be as good as Sam Darnold. I'm sorry. I'm an SC guy all day long, but SC quarterbacks haven't looked the greatest in the last 20 years. So let's see. I mean, is this going to be a year where he really plays? If he does get in and if he's the guy that is over McCarthy, or is this the year where McCarthy, if McCarthy is the starting guy? Because again, we don't know. I don't know. Unless you guys have heard something else, I haven't heard the whole injury thing and whatever. Who knows? He might be completely cleared to play right now, and I look like an idiot, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, look, if things go together for McCarthy, cool. We haven't seen him play in the NFL, guys. He's been hurt. He's jacked up, poor guy. Wish him all the best. Thoughts and prayers with you, brother. I hope you can play. But this is hard. Injuries suck, but they're part of the game. So what Vikings team are we going to get this year? Are we going to get the complete deal? Or are we going to get the missing pieces again? Some assembly required, and guess what? There's like 2 pieces missing. I mean, isn't that always the case for some teams? But for the Vikings, it's very powerful because those 2 pieces, I don't know, makeshift one. I don't know, but they could be very powerful for the Vikings. So, I don't know. Bottom line, one of the NFL's most complete rosters, but the whole season rides on who the hell is playing quarterback and what they're going to do when they start, whoever it is. Is McCarthy cleared? Is he going to go out there and be the guy that everyone thought he was going to be in the NFL and the dude that we saw at Michigan and the guy who can lead that team? Or is it going to be Darnold again? And is Darnold going to step up this time and actually deliver? I mean, I'm just saying, he's there. I mean, I'm sorry, Darnold's gone. Why am I saying Darnold? Sam Howell is their backup. My apologies. Again, messing with my wrong notes here. Sorry. But at the end of the day, they're only as good as their quarterback. Okay, let's just be real. They're only as good as their quarterback. And we don't know. Again, sorry, I got stuck in my last year's thoughts. But Sam Howell, he's the guy behind McCarthy. Can he stay healthy? McCarthy. If McCarthy doesn't, if he falls apart, is this it? Is this the whole year now? And I'm not hoping for it to happen. I'm just saying, he's a rookie. We haven't seen him play once. He was injured. There's a lot going on there, So my apologies for going on the Darnold thing. But overall, look, if at all McCarthy doesn't play that good, this could be monumental in a bad way for the Vikings. So my final thoughts, guys. I know I spent a little bit longer on this one here because I really like the NFC North this year. It's a lot of fun to look at. I mean, there's so many things. But final thoughts, the NFC North is like a pressure cooker, honestly. Every team has very good pieces, but just how many is kind of the question. The Bears have pieces, but they're like just all scattered, and there's a whole bunch missing, and I don't know. But the Bears can be hot. They could actually be a wild card team, in my opinion. The Lions, they're pretty damn good. The Lions can be a Super Bowl caliber team, in my opinion, this year. The Packers, they have that stealth mode where they just win games and no one looks or cares, but kind of in their peripheral, they see the Packers. I don't know. And then the Vikings, the entire season is depending on their quarterback because they have a lot of other pieces here. So buckle up, y'all. This is gonna be a fun one, man. We're gonna have ourselves a nice little brawl in the NFC North. So going through all 4 teams again. Look, I'm starting with the Bears again. I'm sorry, guys. Last year they were 5-12. This year they might win 8 games, but they have a lot more to go. So I don't know. I can still see them in the basement. The Packers, I still think they just actually might be 10-7, 11-6 again. Can we get that second gear from Love? Can we get that second gear from the rest of the team? The defense is going to be there. Or shall I say from the rest of the offense? The defense is going to be there. But how much more, how much more can this offense pump out this year? That's the big question. And then, of course, we got the Vikings, which I feel that if the Vikings slip up, the Packers will be right there if Jordan Love plays really good. But the Vikings end up doing really well. I think they'll be right there where they were last year. I think this division will repeat itself, honestly. Vikings and Packers could flip-flop. Vikings, I think, can win like last year, even 14 games, maybe more, depending on how good McCarthy is. But they could also drop as low as like 8. And let's call it what it is. Don't be mad at me. That's what it looks like. And if they got Howell now, sorry for the Darnold stuff earlier again, but if they got Howell, and McCarthy's not healthy or something happens or whatever, I mean, now they're really looking like they could be nosedive. Who knows? Or he might be saved the day. I don't know. And the Lions, they got the ceiling. They're in outer space. But if they fall apart, I mean, I don't think they will, but it's theirs to lose. So there you guys go. Big show, big turnout here for this show, man. Thank you guys so much. Let's see here. I got some people in the comments. Terrence says USC shouldn't have retired yet. Caleb Williams jersey. We know. Yeah, stupid Heisman rules. And of course, I was looking for that. Terrence predictions here. So he's going Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. Okay, says the Packers could leapfrog the Vikings. Okay, other than that, the Lions, the other teams will be interchangeable with one another. Okay, well, there you guys have it. I agree. I mean, up to a certain point there, so the Bears are in the basement. But let's see what happens here, man. This has been fun, and well, there you guys have it. The NFC North is all set and done, and we are on to the last division in the NFC, the NFC West. All right, so well. Thank you to our awesome guests, man, or our insiders, that is. Glenn Ritter for the Vikings, Dan Diehard McCulloch for the Packers, Adam Karnick for the Chicago Bears, and Skits, our brand new Michigan insider for the Lions. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for jumping on in here. And there you have it, man. All done, and we are on to that next division. So again, guys, look, I'm not hating. Don't sit here, Larry B's a hater. And I'm not a hater, man. No, I'm just saying it as it is. Everybody gets really hurt sometimes when you jump on their team and say things. But, I mean, what more? What more can be said sometimes, I mean, apparently in my book, Darnold was playing for the Vikings again this year. But again, if J.J. McCarthy has an explosive year, they're going to go after the Lions, man. I think the Lions have it. The Lions, it's theirs. But they cannot get complacent. They cannot get comfortable. If they get comfortable, they're going to find themselves, I mean, it won't be the 0-16 year, okay, 0-17 now. But they'll find themselves in a familiar bad territory. But if the Lions stay as good as the Lions should be, and obviously the injuries is a major thing, right? But that's football. Regardless, stay healthy. The Lions have every chance to win this division and possibly the Super Bowl, guys. So don't hate on me. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? But Packers, there's a chance. There's a good chance. Vikings, there's a good chance. Bears, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be crazy if they just popped out and Caleb Williams started playing like a man possessed, as they would say, and all this. I don't know. It could all happen because the Bears have some footing now, but I just don't see that happening. I just don't. So yeah, Detroit and I guess you can say it like that. I don't know Josh meant to say that, but Terrence says great stuff. Thank you, good sir. Vikings and Packers are tough to predict because they're both solid. That's right. The NFC is a whole as a whole is really beefing up. Absolutely. Josh Ritter, Detroit and Green Bay will fight for the division. And well, like I said, but let's see about the Vikings. If JJ is uninjured and plays well, this could be a 3-horse race. But watch Caleb do really well, and let this be the Bears' time to get out there and make it happen. Oh my gosh, this could be the funnest division in all of football, and the coldest, as I always say. So, with that said, guys, one more division in the NFC, and that's the NFC West. Stay tuned, man. That stream will be popping up soon. Follow us here at iSports Radio on TikTok, X, and like, subscribe, share here on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. On to the next. See you in just a few minutes.